Hello and welcome to today's segment of Crucian Cultural Cuisine. Today I'm Sommer Sibilly-Brown, and I am here with Miss Eleanor Sealey, who will be teaching us how to make traditional Crucian red pea soup. You don't say soup, you don't call it a soup. I remember edgy one time at Richard's, when everybody was like, there was a red pea soup ready, and he was like, no, red pea soup. So Miss Sealey, the show is yours. Please feel free to begin to tell us, and I'm gonna mask up.
Okay. What I really do with my beans, I will soak it overnight. So in that way, it wouldn't be that hard to cook. Then I will put my beans in the pot.
Okay.
Then I will add, when I put that on to boil, I add my pepper. Here I have in this package here is some side, you call it, sometimes you say chibble.
Okay.
And some parsley, and then onion. So here is some chibble. This one is the chibble, too small for you to see. Some onion, some parsley. Then I have some thyme. I dry. I rather it dry. So if not, you could use it green. I put it in dry.
Okay.
So now I'm going to place the beans in the pot. Then it will stay there and boil. After it's boiled, then I add the other ingredients, which will be the sweet pepper, sweet potato, yam, and tanya. Some white potato also.
Okay.
So I'm going to place this in the pot.
So, Miss Sealey, I have a question.
Yes.
When you say the beans boiling, how long? Like it's just a rolling boil? Like if
No. It have to cook till it's mashed.
So that's a 20 minutes, 30 minutes,
no,
an
more
hour?
than that, more.
A lot more?
A lot more. So I just will be doing this, but I have one that is finished.
Okay.
You all could see, taste it, everything.
So what you're saying is when we said the beans boil, we boiling the beans till the bean is soft?
Yes.
Okay. And after the bean is soft is when I would add...
No, you're going to place this in there when you put the beans.
While it's boiling. Okay, got it.
The only thing you add last will be ginger.
Okay.
The ginger is so that the soup don't ferment.
Interesting.
That's the purpose of the ginger.
Okay.
So you could cook the soup, leave it up all day. Once you have enough ginger, it never sour.
Wow. Okay, I learned something. All right. So far, learning to make red pea soup. We take the beans, you soak them overnight.
Yes.
And then they're going to swell. When I get ready to cook, I'm going to put the beans in the pot.
And all of these ingredients.
With onion, chibble, parsley, and thyme. Okay.
You got a pepper, right?
And pepper.
Sweet pepper.
And sweet pepper. Okay.
You see, because once you put these in there, when the beans is boiled, most of the time these will like melt away. That's the purpose of putting in.
Okay.
At that time.
Okay.
So, ready to put?
Yes. You want me to bring them over to the stove?
I have to try the water in first.
So, pour the entire gallon in?
Pour the entire gallon in.
Miss Sealey, I ask, that's 1 pack of dry beans or more than one?
No. That's a half a pound.
That's a half a pound
yes.
of dry beans, and this is a gallon of water.
Because it's going to suck up the water.
Okay.
So that's the reason why.
You want me to bring the beans over?
Please. That's the reason why.
Beans and the seasoning.
I pour it. The water is clean.
Okay, so pour it. Let me get a spoon.
Just
tap it. Boom.
Okay.
And then throw in.
Pour that in, please. Then,
Excuse here. Okay.
Okay, then we leave that to boil.
Okay, so just cover the pot.
Please. No, turn that stove on. Is that front? Which one is front?
You want it to high?
Yeah.
Okay, we turn it on to high.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
So step one.
That's step one.
Okay.
Oh, we came from the store, we put the beans on
So yeah. Okay.
with the seasoning.
So now.
This wouldn't go in now.
So what
This-
will go in next?
Next, when the beans is boiled, then we're gonna place this in here.
Okay.
Now, let me explain something to you. The meat, I have it cooked already, right? But the reason why, if you put the meat, them have a lot of fat.
Correct.
And if you put a meat to cook with the beans, it's so greasy.
Got it.
So that's the purpose of I cooking the meat separate.
So
Here is the meat.
Okay,
You
so-
could open it.
what meat we have here is
To go in there, see?
this is ham and pork.
Ham, pork, pigtail,
Ham
and
pigtail.
ribs.
Okay, and
And
ribs
salt ribs.
and salt ribs.
Yeah,
And so we pre-boil it.
right. So when the pot nearly finished cooking, I
Mhm.
add that in there.
Got it.
You see, you have some of the water.
Okay, but not a lot, and it doesn't have a lot of the fattiness
No,
in it.
no.
Because from looking at the side, I could see it's more water.
Right.
There is a little bit of fat congealing,
Yes,
but not
that
much.
much.
I see it.
That's the reason why I do it.
Okay, so while the beans are
It's
cooking, I could have either already pre-prepped my meat
You
by
could do
boiling
that.
it,
Mhm.
or I could boil it at the same time. About how long it'll take the meat to
The
cook?
take a while.
Okay.
It take a while. See what happened is, I was up from early. Yeah, preparing everything, getting everything together.
Correct.
See, in here I have, this is for the dumpling.
Okay, yeah, I
See?
see the dough. Yes. The
And
dough is
that
already heated.
I put in there some cornmeal and sugar, some shortening and salt.
Mm-hmm.
Then but what I does with that one, I have it roll out.
Got it.
It takes longer doing that. So what I will do with this is roll it like this. Make like finger shape.
Yeah, finger dumpling, like
Yes.
little droplets.
Right.
Okay,
That's what I cover that in case a fly comes.
so just to recap the ingredients, what we
Mhm.
have while the soup is boiling,
Mhm.
we have, like, this is ground provisions basically.
Yes.
This is tanya,
Tanya, sweet potato,
sweet potato,
and yam.
and yam. And this wasn't pre-boiled.
No.
So this is just sitting in water because we
Right.
don't want the tanya to turn.
The sweet potato
The
to turn
sweet-
dark.
Okay, so it's plain water or water and
Plain
salt?
water.
Okay, plain water. Then we have the meat, which is salt ribs,
Uh-huh.
ham,
Yeah.
and
Bigfoot.
pig foot
And pigtail.
and pigtail, and that is pre-boiled, so we could have skimmed off most of the
Right.
fat, and what is sitting in its own water. And then we have here the dough for the dumpling,
Right.
which is let me see, sugar, salt, shortening,
Yes.
and then of course flour.
Yeah. Some cornmeal, some flour.
Some cornmeal and some flour. So
Right.
so the major, as we talk about, and we're waiting for it to boil, and this is like a 3-hour process
Yeah.
to make red pea
This
soup.
soup is a long process.
So as we
Because
wait,
the meat,
mm-hmm.
when I put the meat to cook, it was like 2 o'clock this morning.
Oh wow!
I was up early.
So you put a meat to cook 2 o'clock this morning. What time
Yes.
it done cook?
It finished about 5, 6 o'clock.
2 to 5.
You see?
So about 3 to 4 hours,
Because
depending
I
on how
put
much
on
meat.
low,
And you put because I will make the meat nice and tender when it's
Yes.
slow cook.
very low.
Okay, so
You
cooking
see?
the meat on a slow fire
Yeah, right.
for about 3 to 4 hours, depending on how much, and you're cooking it till it's tender.
Yes.
And the ingredient that you said that was really important, which I didn't expect, was the ginger, which we add last because that stops the soup from fermenting.
Right.
Okay, I feel like I learned something. I feel excited.
Yes.
Miss Sealey, while we wait and it come into a boil, how you learn to make red pea soup?
Well, listen, this is real. From young, I used to have to cook my food. And the reason I used to live with my godmother, so you know the old people in them days knew how to cook. So I love to cook because I had to cook my food. She had diabetes, really. And so she couldn't eat a lot of stuff. So from then I learned to cook.
Okay. So this
And
was your
long
godmother
ago-
recipe and you just observe her cooking
Right.
it and you learn it?
And then I think.
Okay, awesome.
See,
Awesome.
they long ago, this is the way they really used to cook red pea soup. But now I see people putting pumpkin in red pea soup, tomato in it. Serious, I see it because I see in a lady cookbook, that's what she, for ingredients, tomato or either tomato paste.
Oh wow.
But I didn't know nothing about that.
So I guess the assumption is that what would make red pea soup red is the tomato sauce. So they're
Yes.
doing it like a Creole or a stew.
Right.
But
right.
traditionally,
It's not supposed to.
it's just the red beans.
Beans, yes.
Okay.
And what is red beans? It will be the soup. When you're ready, you could check within the pot.
It's going to have a red color, but not a tomato saucy
sauce. No,
color.
no, no.
That's interesting.
That's why you see some of them look real red because they put tomatoes in it of the tomato paste.
Mm-hmm.
See?
So I think that's the importance, Miss Sealey, of Crucian Cultural Cuisine as a segment,
Right.
because as like people have different ways of doing things,
Yes.
and St. Croix has emerged as a melting pot where we have a lot of different people from different places and different islands. And while we don't use the same ingredients, we all have our own way
right.
of making it.
Mhm.
What we are showcasing during festival is the traditional Crucian ways
Right.
of making it. And that's important for us to capture,
Right.
because people who know how to cook it this way, if we don't pass on these traditions to the next generation, eventually our food identity will disappear.
It will.
And I
It
feel
will.
like personally, to be my age and learning this as a person who lives on St. Croix,
Right.
like this style should be prevalent,
Yes.
right? While
Yeah.
we have and honor the other traditions,
Right.
So I'm excited. So no tomato sauce.
No, I don't put tomato sauce.
Okay, got it.
So cover it back up.
We're gonna cover everything back up because we're waiting
One fly.
for it to
No,
come to
not
a
that
boil.
fly.
And no flies.
Yes.
Food safety, good
Yes.
health is important.
That's black pepper after I finish.
Okay, so black pepper, then we have a little bit of salt.
Yes.
This would be
This flour for me, if I put my hand to start rolling.
so that it won't stick to your hand.
Yes.
Okay. And then of course they have a little bit of
Sugar.
okay. Awesome. Let me go check the pot. Anything happening with me? The pot getting hot.
It's getting hot. See, that's the thing. It's slow.
Mm-hmm.
Very slow.
So, Miss Sealey, while we wait for the soup to boil so we can add the rest of the ingredients, I'm interested in learning more about, you're a great cook, and I know you don't make drinks, and I know you don't do bush baths, right? And so people know Miss Sealey in our community for like your legacy of dealing with like herbs and foods
Right.
and drinks, right? And which is our cultural identity. So tell me how red pea soup when you were growing up, like, was it a staple? Was it a special occasion? How was it
No.
used?
No, it was not a special occasion. See, long ago, one day, it would be maybe Monday or Wednesday, you have red pea soup.
Mm-hmm.
Then, depends on if the fisherman catch fish, then you will have fish and fungi maybe Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But every week, you had soup. They don't have to be red peas, it could be pigeon peas, because they use a lot of pigeon peas for soup.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting to me. I would like to try or learn how to make pigeon pea soup, because you hear about red pea soup, but I
Because
never really hear about pigeon
that's
pea
the
soup.
in thing now.
Mm.
But pigeon pea soup, yes, definitely.
Okay.
So it used to be, if you have pigeon pea soup, maybe this week, next week you cook red pea soup.
Got it. Okay.
And so every day of the week they have something different. It's not like now. Chicken used to be a special thing. Meat used to be, yes, on Sundays. you had chicken
Wow.
and meat, beef Sundays. In the week, sometimes you have tripe, you know tripe.
No, tell me what's tripe.
Tripe is intestine for the cow.
Mm-hmm.
You make soup with that. And bullfoot, you see they make bullfoot soup? Well, you use the tripe with the bullfoot and make soup.
So I think that's really important to note because right now, if you look on the internet,
Yeah.
there are people who are talking about like gut health, right? Like
Yes.
how to keep your insides healthy, and talking about organ meat, which I think is something as a society, as our community, we move away. You see, like when you said trout, tripe, and you were like, is the cow intestines? And my face first was like this, but then I thought about it. They're saying that really the nutrients and the things that are good for your body, the organ meat is actually better than the muscle meat because it contains more nutrients. And so people are making bone broth now and all those types of soups. And you're telling me that historically and ancestrally, we would have bullfoot and tripe soup, which would have been more nutrient dense. So when we look at like health of Virgin Islanders, the way they were eating fresher, but like that's a thing now, eating the organs.
Right.
Oh, that's cool. So like we just bringing back some of our ways. And then you mentioned also that chicken is a staple now in the Virgin Islands.
Any day.
People eat chicken 3 or 4 times a week. And you're saying it was actually reversed. Chicken was a special thing. So fish and pork were more prevalent than chicken.
You spoke also something as a special thing. But fish, yes. Okay. You had fish, you had saltfish, which is catfish, you call that. And fish with fondue, you either had boiled fish or fried fish. Okay. So that was the week food. Some people cook callaloo once a week, definitely, long ago.
Wow.
Because I know, for instance, this lady, she was in her 80s when I was really young. She used to make callaloo, but you know how she used to make it? With the tanya leaves. Right? So you get the tanya leaf and you peel it. And then you scald it. And you chop it up. Then you add your okra, just like...
Sound like we get our next cooking show. It sounds like we need to bring you on for a callaloo because I know you're giving us the recipe. Yeah, so we need to see you doing.
With the tanya bush, not with the callaloo. So if she couldn't get callaloo, she used the tanya bush.
So because is that's also, and I think we should do a segment on callaloo because I think that's also something like people are talking about what the callaloo bushes are.
Right.
And to hear that there's a variation that uses the tanya leaf, the tanya bush, because that's. So tanya in Hawaii is called taro, right? And that's another tropical culture like ours that uses that herb as a staple, and the tanya leaf is nutrient rich. Yes. So we need to do an episode looking at the variations of callaloo. But as you were talking, so what I heard is traditionally we had a lot of soups in our diet.
Yes.
Whether you had your callaloo soup, your pigeon pea soup, your red pea soup, that would have been a staple. We had a lot of fish in our diet. Whether it's boiled fish, saltfish, fried fish. Yeah. And then things like chicken or whole pieces of pork, those were more special items and that you would have on weekends. And I think so, let me ask a question. Was rice prevalent? Like you had a lot of rice?
Eat rice. You do eat rice. You eat rice and macaroni.
Okay.
But not every day. Every day you have a different dish. To do.
Got it.
They have something they call mafe.
Yes.
You know about mafe?
I know about mafe, tufunji.
Yes, and that too. So.
And that's a version of a soup.
Yes, So they had every day their menu like that.
Got it. So I have another question. When you were growing up or in your lifetime, is there somebody that you would credit and be like, besides yourself, because we know you're famous for cooking, who is a red pea soup person, like the name, like when that person cook red pea soup, you want to go get it?
You mean, I don't really cook it.
Because you don't cook it yourself.
Everybody cook different. You
Got
see
it.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, my grandmother, she used to cook like this. She was my grandmother.
What was your godmother's name, if you don't mind me asking?
Henley, Miss Henley.
Miss Henley.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she really is what made me cooking. Because I had to cook my food. So like from 12 years I've been cooking. See, as I said, she had diabetes. So because she had diabetes, for instance, with the chicken, she will boil it, make her soup. When I come from school, she said, here, there is your meat, you cook it.
Okay.
So I will cook my chicken with rice.
Got it.
So that's how I learned to cook. And then when I was working to Good Hope Hotel, I used to go and watch they cook. Well, she used to cook stateside food. Not a lot of local food. So I used to look at her cooking. You know, but I love to cook from small, since I learned from young. You know, but the pea soup, that's something every week, once a week, you will have pea soup. It will be either red peas or pigeon peas. The dry pigeon peas.
So I have one more question because I think now you know red pea soup shows up as a special, and more that you would find is a staple is chicken soup. So when chicken soup become like that was later, like that's a more modern occurrence that people are
eat. Not people used to make chicken soup.
Okay.
You see, they did have chicken soup.
Okay.
But most peas, I don't know why. You know? Like black eyed peas also. You know black eyed peas? They make soup with that too. Soup. So.
Okay.
You know? But the red peas now, that is every week people have special on red peas. See, most of the cook shop have red peas. It's strange they don't cook black eyed peas nor pigeon peas.
Yeah.
Just red peas, which is strange.
I have you know, like as we're talking, so did we grow red beans here and we're growing
No,
them, or
we buy.
They used to come in.
They come in, yes.
Okay, so red peas was imported.
Yes.
Okay. That's because I was like, if red pea soup was prevalent, I wanted to know because the pigeon peas we would grow.
Yes.
And the black eyed peas we could grow.
We could grow it, but we didn't.
So the black eyed peas also was brought in, but the pigeon peas was
local. Local, and you bring in.
Got it. Okay. That's like really interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna place the tanya, the sweet potato, and the yam in the pot now. That's how I'm gonna drop the water. Okay, and here I have some sweet pepper, so you could hear me? Sweet pepper, onion, chivel, thyme. Then I put that to cook with the beans. So now that the beans are already cooked, I add in the sweet potato, the tanya, the yam. Then I put in the dumplings. Now I add in the sugar and the black pepper. So it's coming to a boiling down and it will be ready. Well, this beans take quite a, I'm here from after 11. It's now 10 after 3, so that's quite about, say about 3 hours almost. Because the beans was hard, very hard. So I had to make sure that the beans were cooked properly before I place anything else in there. So it took a long time.
Okay, Miss Sealey, so the long-awaited red pea soup. I hear stirring it up. This looks so good. And I'm gonna serve.
Rest up the soup shell in the bowl.
Okay, I'm going
So
to
you
have
don't put it on that. So you don't want to get it flat.
Wow. All right, here we go. So, as Miss Sealey, thank you so much for teaching us actually how to make red pea soup the traditional way. I feel so honored to have access to this delicious soup that I'm going to dive into. And I hope all of those people who watch this episode try it. You know, go out, get the ingredients, and enjoy Crucian Christmas Festival 2020. 2020, 21. Yep.